Hello everyone, welcome to our first official video for McCauley Games. This is part of our Let's Play series where we're going to be demoing our recently released print and play game of the month, YAT'Z Dungeon Raid. It is available on Patreon. It will release to the public on May 7th. You just need to be a part of our emailing list. You can sign up for that totally free. It's 4 emails a month. You can do that in the description down below. Let's go ahead and get into it. With the email, you'll be able to download the game directly from the email, and this is what you get. There's also a rule book too that comes up front and a little description of the game. But behind the rulebook in the PDF that you get this. This is your board. This is the dungeon that you're going to be raiding with up to 4 friends. It's a 2 to 5 player game. And these are all your deck zones. That's the church. That's our little M-Star logo. You've got the chest room with 6 chests, the items room, the relic room, and the Forgotten Ruins. And then you have the Ogre's Den and the Dragon's Lair. And that is where you do your monster killing. On the next page, you have your key cards and your ogre skins. Just cut these out. We'll go over these later, but cut these out along the black lines. Make sure each one is separate, and then it's that simple to set up your card page. This next page is another card page, which is a little bit more in-depth cards. These are your basic cards, but you've got your dragon skin, which ends the game. You've got your relic cards and your item cards, and then we also included these 2 lines in case any of you, since we're a channel and company for game makers and gamers. If you want to add other cards or other items or anything like that to the game to change it however you want, we gave you cards to do that so it all is cohesive with the whole print and play game. The next page are your player tokens. There are 6 of them on here, even though the game does only support 2 to 5 players currently. So you get 6 pieces. You cut them out along the outer black line, fold along the black lines, put some glue on the little flap here, fold that under the triangle, fold it all together, and you get a really cool little player piece just like that. They turned out really, really great. They're really awesome and really fun. The next 2 pages are our dice sheets. Since the game requires 5 dice to play, we include 8 dice. Just like on the other sheet, there's 6 instead of 5. Just in case anything messes up or you want to customize them in any way, you can do that here. So cut those out, again, fold each black line and then fold the flaps down, glue them all together. Really simple, and you get something like this. The next 2 sheets are your player sheets. They're called inventory. That's where you keep track of all the stuff you collect while you go through the dungeon, and then you can just set your collected items or stuff around the card. So that's the print and play. That's all that you get when you download the game. It takes about an hour to set up completely. Cut out all the cards, glue all the pieces together, but in the end, you get a full game like this. We're gonna give these guys. I'm gonna play myself here to give you guys a demo, since I'm recording this at like 3 in the morning, the day that this is supposed to be published. So I'm gonna play myself to give you guys a good demo of how it goes. So I'm gonna name these guys just so I know. I'm gonna name this first guy Ren, not Kylo. And we'll go ahead and go Stimpy here, just because. Great show, sort of. We've got our dice right here. And then we've got our 2 player pieces right here, and we've got all our cards cut out right here. So to start, I'm gonna go ahead and label these player pieces with an R for Ren. This one's gonna be labeled with an S. All right, so now that we got our pieces labeled, we know who's who since I'm playing myself. We're going to go ahead and shuffle the item deck. Everything on your board can stay face up except for the items and the relics. And honestly, you can even play with those face up too. But for the sake of what the rules say, I'm going to go ahead and play this face down. Playing it face up, it only gives you an advantage in the sense that you know what's currently face up at the time versus it being a random draw kind of event. And yeah, these cards are kind of small and they're paper, so sometimes they're hard to kind of shuffle. Just do the best you can. There's only 12 items and only 5 relics. And I will go ahead and shuffle up the relics as well. I don't know why I'm looking. Let's turn those over. Place those face down. And now it's time for the game to start. So I've got all my cards here in my little zones. And we're going to have Ren go first. Actually, we'll have Ren roll a d6 here. So Stimpy's probably going to go first. Stimpy's going first. Okay, So we're gonna roll for, I'm gonna switch these just because. All right, so we're gonna take our dice, shake them all up. We need to get, there's a key right here on the dungeon. This key has 2 prongs, meaning we need to get 2 of a kind to get into the dungeon. So Stimpy rolls 3 of a kind, so we're gonna go ahead and claim that 2 of a kind and move him into the dungeon. And now it's Ren's turn because you get 2 actions per turn, a roll and a move. No matter what you choose to take or what you don't choose to take, as soon as you collect an item of some sort, your turn ends. Now it's Ren's turn. Okay, we got 2 of a kind, so Ren moves into the chest room as well. Great, so now it's Stimpy's turn again, and we're going to take our first roll and just kind of assess what we get. In this room, we can take of the same number, so we can take as many of the same number as possible and open a chest and collect that much gold. Or if we get 3 of a kind, we can choose from any of these keys to take. We take those keys and put them in our keychains right here on the side of your player board, and then you can walk in and out of that room freely. We got our 3 of a kind. We almost got a full house. So 3 of a kind, and Stimpy is gonna go ahead and take his relic key. So as you can see, the keys and everything there are worth gold as well, and you want to build up your purse as you go by opening chests. The game ends when all players die, all players leave the dungeon, or the dragon is slain. Stimpy collected an item, so now it's Ren's turn. So we're gonna roll the dice. Ren got 3 of a kind, so he is gonna go ahead and take, we'll say, the items key. So now it's Stimpy's turn again, and Stimpy is going to move into the relic room. Now, in the relic room, some really interesting things happen. So he's gonna draw a relic card. Altar of the Ancients. That's the name of the relic. It gives you a permanent ability. For as long as you hold this relic, you'll have access to this ability. It says reroll once per turn. I'll be able to make a reroll once per turn on normal roll sequences, not on like event checks. When relics are picked up, they spawn a global event that affects all the players. Altar of the Ancients spawns a plague event. All players I'll show you this up close. All players, I don't know if you can see it, but it says RD6 on 1, 2, 3, minus 10H. So that means all players roll a D6 on 1, 2, or 3, they fail their event check, and so they lose 10 health. So this is going to be for Stimpy. He got a 4, so he passes his event check, he's safe. This one is gonna be for Ren, and he got a 2. So Ren is gonna lose 10 health, and we mark that off by crossing that out and making it 40. Ren has lost 10 health. But now it's Ren's turn. Go ahead and roll for another key, I think. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we got 2s. Let's see if we can get another 2. We did not. We may have to open up our 2s chest here. If you can take a chest, you have to take a chest in the chest room. So I can either open my 1 chest and just get 1, or I can open my 2s chest and take 4. I will go ahead and open my 2s chest and take 4 gold, because that's not awful. Maximum of 10, and I'll go ahead and put a check mark next to this and say that I counted it, and I will add it into my active gold purse. So now it's Stimpy's turn again. You have to move first. The actions are move and then roll. So he's moving into the chest room. You gotta move first, and then he's gonna roll and try to get another key. All right, so we got 2 5s, a 4, and a 1. So I'm gonna roll for 5s here. Got it. Got my third 5. So I'm gonna take an item key. All right, and now Stimpy can move into the items room to collect items and access the ogre's den. So now it's Ren's turn, and Ren is gonna go ahead and move into the items room. So we need a small straight, and he got 3 of a kind right off the roll. That's what he needed last time, but you'll be surprised at how often that happens. He needs a small straight, so we'll keep the 1 and the 4 and roll everything else and see what happens. 2, 1 more roll, so we need a 3. We didn't get it. Wow, that was a lot of 4s that turn. So nothing happens. We're gonna go ahead and move Stimpy. He's gonna roll to get an item or to get the key. The ogre's den key has 4 prongs on it. 4, 5, 6. We got 4, 5, 6. So let's try to get a 3. Got the 3. Okay, and I did not need to use my relic ability, but Stimpy here just rolled a small straight and gets their first item. This is the bow item. You can expend this item to add a +1 to a die. You can carry 2 items on you at a time. All right, so now it's Ren's turn, and he's also gonna go for an item or a key. On the roll, he got the small straight, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5. So he gets to go ahead and grab an item. And this one is the arrow, which allows you to re-roll 1 die. It's kind of like the single use of Stimpy's relic. It allows him to re-roll once per turn, which allows you to re-roll your last roll and not just 1 die. So Ren just collected an item, so therefore it's Stimpy's turn again. So Stimpy's gonna stay here in this room and go ahead and roll for either the key or another item. We're gonna go for 5s and try to get this key. 3 and 6, not helping. I've got a 4 here. Let me re-roll this and see if I get a 5 with my ability. My once per turn oh no, I have to use that ability, you have to re-roll your last roll. Got it, sweet, and I didn't have to spend my other item, which I was going to. So Stimpy's gonna go ahead and grab the ogre key, put it on his keychain, and next turn, Rin is gonna go ahead and try to collect another item or get a key. 2 4s, 1 2. Let's go for the small straight, get the item. 1 2, didn't get it. So now it's Stimpy's turn again. Stimpy's gonna go ahead and try to get one more item. Those items help tremendously when fighting monsters. 1 2 and 4. Let's try to get a 3. 2 and 6. We just need a 3. Got it. 1 2 3 4. So Stimpy's gonna get that other item. Now it is Rin's turn again, and Rin is again going to try and grab that key or grab another item. 1 2. Need 3. Got it. Ren just got their second item. Still trying to get that key though. But Stimpy, he's gonna go ahead and move right into the ogre's den. Now combat in Dungeon Raid is really interesting. You have your turn to move into a dungeon, roll what's necessary to defeat the enemy, and if you don't get it, you have to attempt to flee. And there's a flee rating on both monsters. You have to roll higher than that by rolling all 5 dice, and if you roll higher than that, you succeed and you exit back out into the previous room. If you don't roll higher than that, the ogre attacks, and there's an attack rating there. If they attack, you roll those dice, subtract that total from your health, and then you get blown back into the previous room and you lose your key for the room that you were just in, so you have to get that back. Stimpy's gonna go ahead and take on the ogre's den. So we're gonna roll all 5 dice. 1 2 3 and 5. So I need to roll a 4 or a 3 or a 2 to get the 4. So I've got a 50% chance of getting this in the next 3 rolls. I get 2 more normal rolls to roll this on my turn to try to get a 4. And then I have my re-roll ability. And then I also have my +1 to a die and a +1 to a die for both my bow items. So I should be able to get this to a 4. I need a 2, 3, or a 4. So that's what we're gonna roll for. And I get 3 rolls to do it. There's the first, not gonna work. Got the 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that, and I'm gonna use both my bow items right there, and I'm gonna expend those and put them right over here in a discard pile, and I'm gonna buff that up to a 4, get my large straight 1 2 3 4 5, and then I'm gonna take my ogre skin. It's worth 30 gold, but it's worth 30 gold, but it's actually more valuable than that, especially if you plan on fighting the dragon. The ogre skin has a special ability. You can use it to add 2 more normal rolls to your turn, and it has 2 uses of that. You have your 3 normal rolls, and then you would go into your ogre skin and use your 2 additional rolls, and then that would be all you could do for that turn. You have to get out. If you don't get it, go back in, and then you can use that same ogre skin again. After its 2 uses, it gets expended and put back, but then you can travel back into the ogre's den, fight the ogre again, and get another skin, but you can only carry 1 ogre skin at a time. For the sake of showing you, I will do a flee check. Okay, so we got a flee check of 10. I just have to roll higher than 10, which we did with 18 and then 22, 24. So he would safely get out of the room without being attacked. But if he didn't make the check, then you would roll 4d6 for the ogre's attack, add it all together, that's 12, that's 13, and then subtract 13 from your health. Stimpy won, he got the ogre skin. It's Rin's turn. He's got 2 items. He's gonna go here and try to get a relic and just try to beat Stimpy to the dragon. But he is gonna try to get a relic. So we got 2 2s and 2 1s. Let's do 2 2s. Got it. 3 of a kind. Ren is gonna go ahead and grab his relic key and add it to his keychain. Stimpy's gonna come out of here and try to get a couple more items. So we gotta get a small straight, and we got a full house right on the roll. And we're gonna keep A3, I suppose, since it's pretty much in the middle. So that's roll number 2, 4, 5. We're gonna try to get a 2 or a 6. Didn't get it. And then this is my re-roll. Got the 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. We got the sword, which is -1 to a die, the opposite of the bow. For the bow and arrow or the sword and shield, you can expend both items at the same time, ignoring their normal effects, to change a single die result to anything you want. So you can change a 6 and turn it to a 1, whatever you want, but it can only work on 1 die, and it can only work if you have both of those specific items to couple and discard them both. So now it's Ren's turn. Ren just got his relic key, so Ren is gonna pop into the relic room. He is going to get Excalibur, -1 to a die once per turn. So that is really, really good. You have a permanent ability to modify a die down 1. So that spawns a Mordred attack. He's going to attack as the global event. RD6, 1, 2, -10 H. So if you roll a 1 or roll a 2, you lose 10 health. So this is going to be for Ren. 4. So Ren succeeds. This one's going to be for Stimpy, and Stimpy succeeds. Nobody loses health on that turn, and Ren gets their relic, and it's a really good relic. So Stimpy is going to go ahead and roll for another item. Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Stimpy is going to grab the shield. Okay, Stimpy has the sword and the shield, the coupling combo that I was talking about. Worst case scenario, Stimpy can discard both of those to change a single die to whatever he wants. Ren is going to come back out here into the chest room, and he is going to roll for the Forgotten Ruins key. So he needs 3 of a kind. We're going to go 5s. Got the 5 right there. So Ren is going to get the Ruins key. You can see me like jumping around, and I'm not going too much for gold currently, but it is important to get gold. If you want to continue the game after you die, you have to pay 25 gold to be resurrected at the church with 25 health. You lose all of your keys, all of your items, and your relic. Your health goes to 25. You keep all the gold you collected, and you're back at the church. So you have to roll a pair again to get back in, and also go back to get all your keys. 25 gold will resurrect you with 25 health. Now, if you don't want to die, if you're trying not to die, you can leave the dungeon with all your stuff, heal 10 health for 10 gold at the church, and then roll doubles to get back in, and you still have everything. So you can preemptively heal to make sure that you don't die and lose everything. All right, so now it's Stimpy's turn. Stimpy's going to move out here and try to get a Ruins key as well, and got it. 3 of a kind. Now it's Ren's turn. So Ren is going to go ahead and get into the Forgotten Ruins. Now in this room, you have to get a full house. If you get a full house, you can mark off one of your ruin searches. You can only succeed at this 3 times. Each one that you mark off is worth 15 gold. So Ren's going to roll for a full house or for 4 of a kind. We got the 3, so we're going to go ahead and take the Dragon's Lair key. Stimpy's going to go ahead and move to the Forgotten Ruins and roll for either a key or gold search. Nothing. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention for full house stuff. You know what? I will go ahead on that last roll here. We've got 5, 5, 1, 2, 1. I'm gonna spend my sword item. I'm gonna expend that. So I'm gonna cut that down to a 1, and I'm going to mark off one of my ruin searches with a full house, and that's 15 gold in my pocket. So now Ren knows that Stimpy did not get his key to the Dragon Lair, so Ren is kind of feeling a bit ahead. So he's gonna go back over to the items room and try to get that Ogre's Den key. The keys are worth gold too at in-game totaling. Didn't get R4, that's fine. So now it's Stimpy's turn. He's gonna go again for the Dragon Lair key or the full house. No. See, these times that you get stuck outside of a gate looking for the key, it gives the other players, if you're ahead, a chance to catch up. Ren is gonna try one last time because Stimpy still can't get into the Dragon's Lair. Try to get the Ogre's Den key. Nope, didn't get it. So Stimpy's gonna go ahead and try to get into the Dragon's Lair. We got 2 5s. There we go, 4. Stimpy now has the Dragon key, and the end of the game is potentially in sight. But Ren is now gonna move around straight into the Dragon's Lair to try to beat Stimpy from getting there. You need 5 of a kind to defeat the dragon. It can be any number. You just need to have all dice saying that. You can use your relic ability, your ogre skin, your items, all of these to ensure that you get the roll that you need. Ren's gonna go ahead and do the first roll. 2 it is. We're gonna start off with 2s. Second roll here, we will use our relic ability to turn that into a 2. Third roll, another 2. We're going to use our arrow here to re-roll 1 die. 2. Ren just beat the dragon. Oh my gosh, guys, you saw it here. 5 2s beats the dragon. Okay, so now we get to end game. All right, we start off going down the board and then right to left. Stimpy opened 0 chests, so none of that changes. However, Stimpy did find gold in the ruins, so that's 15. Now he's got the ogre skin, which adds 30, bringing our total to 45. He's got a relic, so that's 10 gold, which brings us to 55. This item is worth 5 gold, that's 65. And then the keys, the top tier keys, they're worth 5, and the lower tier keys, those are worth 2. So we've got 5 for the dragon key and 5 for the ogre key, which brings us another 10, 75. The ruins key, the item key, and the relic key, that's another 6 gold. That brings us to 81. He finished the game at full health, so he gets that as a bonus. 131 total gold. Now let's see how Ren did. Stimpy has 131 gold in his inventory, and Ren has 120. He won by 11 gold. And that's the game. This is YAT'Z Dungeon Raid. So if you enjoyed this, leave a comment down below, like the video, share with a friend, do whatever you want to do. We are here to play games and have fun. Keep an eye out for our video next Thursday. Yeah, go subscribe to our podcast where we interview the game maker who made today's featured Kickstarter of the week, which is right now. Go check it out. Hey gamers and makers, I hope you enjoyed the video. I just wanted to take a minute to shout out our featured Kickstarter of the week. This project was created by Chris Dufresne, who I had the pleasure of interviewing for the Games of Life podcast. A couple points I want to make about the project is the art style is incredible, and we talk about that a lot in the podcast. One of the biggest things I want to mention about the Show of Force card game Kickstarter project are these tiers right here. Show of Generosity, 1 copy of Show of Force will be sent to you, and 1 copy will be sent to a military service member. And I really love how Chris and Show of Force are supporting military service members. If you want to go check out this project, there's a link in the description below. Go over there, check it out. Go to the podcast and listen to Chris Dufresne's interview. It's really fun and interesting. But most importantly, if you do want to support this project, consider supporting at the tier that also sends a copy to a service member.